Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about the correct procedure to set up a wireless network bridge. A wireless network bridge is also called a wireless Ethernet bridge. You can imagine these as two parts as one device. So usually they come in a pair, and one is a master device and one is a slave device. So why do we need a wireless network bridge? Well, we know that the Ethernet transmission is really convenient, but Ethernet transmission is usually limited to 100 meters. After 100 meters, the signal drops and we're not receiving any useful message from the transmission. And we can use some extension devices, but the progress will only go up to 800 meters. And after 800 meters, we can't extend any more, even if we use the most expensive devices. And then we have to go to fiber optic transmission. Fiber optic transmission is kind of like you have to check your whole network system from all over again to see if it is capable of receiving fiber optic signals. So if you have an existing network and you want to add like longer distance transmissions, a wireless network bridge would be a very good solution because you don't have to check if your network is capable of a new transmission method. So a wireless network bridge, it works as a master and slave device. It's a pair. The master device, let's say this one right here, will connect to our main network, like our router or our landlines, and then it will receive the data and transmit the data into wireless signals and shoot it into the air or whatever. And then we have our slave device. The slave device goes like hundreds, thousand meters away, and then it receives the wireless signal. This transmitter transmits the master device. And after it receives the signal, it will transmit the signal through an Ethernet cable to our IP devices. So in this case, we can go over 1,000 meters. Maybe sometimes when we have the perfect device and the perfect transmission distance and condition, we can go all the way up to 3,000 meters. So here are some tips about using and installing a wireless network bridge. So you have to make sure you know these very carefully. Is first, make sure the transmission area, the space between these two devices, are obstacle free. There's not like a lot of trees or houses, or not like between a mountain. So just make it go high and there's like only air between these two devices, so then the transmission will be really smooth. And then we have to make sure they are waterproof. These are IP-rated IP65 waterproof, so they're okay for outdoor deployment. The reason is because we mostly will deploy these outside. If we're installing these inside our house, there's going to be concrete, wood, and steel between the transmission, and these will interfere the wireless signal at a very serious level. And then as we have to, get the right voltage for it to work. Usually it's 12 volts DC adapter or 24 volts PoE injector that will make these work. They work on really low voltages, so you have to make sure. And then you have to know that the IP devices you're going to connect to this to let it transmit signal back is within its bandwidth. So don't make it overload to cause a lot of traffic on the tunnel. It is really easy to install these. Once we plug all the Ethernet cables and the power cables, switch it to the right mode, it will just create a virtual tunnel, a virtual network tunnel for these two devices. And it would be very easy, very simple for us to understand. It's just like opening a new pathway to the device. And so this is usually an independent network tunnel. It won't be interfered, but we also have to, make sure the data coming back won't cause traffic. So right now, I will show you guys how to do a very easy setup, which is our NVR will connect to our main network, then it will go send data to this transmitter, which is the master device, and then it will send the wireless signals to the slave device, which will receive and transmit to this IP camera right here. So now let's take a look. First, we use an Ethernet cable and connect our NVR to our master device transmitter. We insert it into port 1, and then we use a DC adapter which provides 12 volts of power and insert it as well. So right now you will see the Ethernet and power is both on. This means, yeah, everything's all set. He's ready to transmit signal. All we needed to do is on the wireless to the receiver end. So we can hang this up to make sure it is at the same height. So we have to make sure these point face to face to each other. It's like keeping them in the sight of each other. So they can, it's like two people staring at each other. You have to make sure they stay at the same level so they can, you know, one can look at it and the other can understand him. And then we connect our Ethernet cable to our IP camera on the receiver. And then this will provide the power. You can see you have the power for the camera as well with a DC adapter. You can see Ethernet and power is both on as well. Really easy to understand. So the camera is now receiving power and data. And I'll hang this one up as well. We will get an image on our monitor shortly. Now we have an image on our monitor. I'll wave my hand in front of the camera to show you guys the live video feed. So yeah, this is a very good connection, and just for you guys to know, we should leave these two usually at the same height so they can like directly, one can transmit, one can receive right here, and you know, point these two face towards each other to create like two people watching each other so they know, yeah, I'm watching you, you're watching me. So this is kind of like called sight and line, very easy to understand. So remember, this is really important as well. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys have any more questions, you can leave them at the section below. And thank you guys for watching today, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.